Hey guys, today I'll be playing Glass Mine Day 1. And there's really no description for this game. And I just opened this up just to hear all these weird different sounds that just sound like an absolute nightmare. Well, let's just go ahead and start. Ooh. Okay, is that right? Horror. What's your name? It's around sunset, and you're moving boxes of valuables and various knickknacks into your temporary home. It's closer to the new medical program, and renting an apartment would hurt more than student loans. You're grateful that your parents offered you to use their rental for the time being. The house was nothing special. Old paintings and decorative items float on the walls from the last time it was used. Though you did have the house to yourself, so you can't be upset. The heavy lifting of bed frames and tables were already set up inside, thanks to the movers, but even with a small amount of furniture, it feels empty. You carry the last box from the bed of your back of your car into the house. It's filled with posters and college merch, and you decide to decorate your room before the day ends. Oh yeah, that's right. Tomorrow's the first day of clinicals. The college you enrolled at previously had a medical assistant program that would be stupid to give up. It required moving a bit out of ways to a hospital out in nowhere, but that was no problem. Never would I do that. A 20-minute drive is better than a 3-hour drive. You haven't seen the place in anything other than pictures, but the coordinator seems like a nice guy. Going hands-on is definitely the learning curve you've been needing. Going virtual for other courses also wasn't a challenge. You weren't social much anyway. Thinking about meeting others puts a frown on your face. Not whilst in school, but with neighbors, you let out a loud groan. I better go introduce myself now. If I don't, I'll forget later. Walking out, the sun was just about to dim. It was right before dinner time. Perfect. Do you really have to introduce yourself? Is that really necessary? You look at the houses besides your own, similar in design but more decorated and homely. The neighborhood you relocated to feels inviting. The trees are tall and the leaves are orange and red thanks to the autumn season. Houses lined up the street and came to a halt at the cul-de-sac. The sound of birds chirped as they settled in by sunset. You make your way over to your first visit. To the right of your home stood a small greenhouse. On your way up, you notice the grass was long unkept. The house cast a shadow from where it started to the edge of the street. The porch was barren, and the sound of a loud TV can be heard inside. You raise your hand and knock. No one seems to answer, but the lights are on inside. Rude. Do they have to give up? Like, what is going on? You decide to knock again. Still no answer. You go to yourself quietly. Stepping off the neighbor's porch, you can hear the door lock loudly. What a bunch of assholes. Hopefully you have better luck with the next house. Didn't this person say they don't like talking to people? Why are you mad they didn't open the door? Next door stands a single-story residence with a plain yard out front. The house is a little run down, the grass is patchy. You make your way towards the stairs and up onto the porch. Before you raise your hand to knock, you see something shuffle in the curtains. With a quick snap, they shut. You feel uneasy, a cold shiver runs down your spine. Hesitantly, you knock on the door. A few seconds pass and the door opens. The neighbor stands before you, peeking out of the door with nothing but a cold gaze. Hello, I'm Emery, your new neighbor. I just wanted to pop over and introduce myself. Their eyes fixed onto you. I just moved here and I just wanted to see how you may be, doing? You may as well be talking to yourself. This silence was uncomfortable. I want to apologize. Sorry if now wasn't a good time. It's not. It seems people here aren't the friendliest. Maybe it's their lack of positive peer-to-peer interaction, or maybe people just don't enjoy strangers knocking on their doors. Shocker. Well, so much for this. So much for meeting the neighbors, I guess. Returning home, the lack of personalized decoration upsets you. Thinking of tomorrow's clinicals brings you back to your senses, and you decide to get some extra rest while there's still some time left. You head off into your room for the night and flop down onto your half-thrown-together bed. Drifting off from all the hard work, you close your eyes. Tomorrow will be better. The sunset light pierces through the window, and the warmth of the rays can be felt on your face. You don't even use a blanket. Start to drift off into a peaceful rest. Oh, this is freaky. Oh. Oh my god, it's nighttime. What's going to happen? Falling asleep proved difficult. The new place made you feel out of your element. The blinds were thin enough to see outside. You lay on a small mattress in the bedroom corner. Your thoughts wandered back to the guy peering at you. Should I be worried about them? No, my parents always said this was a nice area. There's nothing to be scared of. Your alarm goes off. The sun is not yet over the horizon, though you feel inclined to get up and start your everyday routine. You walk out of your room. Your living room was dark and quiet. There's no curtains on your windows or doors. Did you turn the light on? Maybe we don't. Let's not turn it on. You decide to keep the light off. There's no one peering through the windows. Walking into the kitchen and opening up the cupboard, you frown at the lack of food you packed for your move-in. With only instant oatmeal and some apples to your name, the sad breakfast reminds you of all the shopping that needs to be done. I could stop by the store today. You take out a piece of paper from a notebook and scribble various groceries down for later, shoving it into your pocket hoping you remember to check. The meal is bland and a little depressing. You shake your head in disappointment, yet you continue eating. You finish your sad meal and sit there. I should probably get dressed. You take your bowl to the sink and rinse it off before you head off. Your first ordered bowl in your new house. How exciting! You make your way towards the bedroom. Walking into your room, you're already starting to get yourself undressed. As you take up your clothes you kept on before your big nap, you feel the breeze on your skin from the sweat. Sleeping in a warm room with a full outfit on probably wasn't the smartest idea. While changing, you can't help but hear a faint scratching sound. Looking all around your room to find out where it's coming from, you find nothing. You decide to look outside. You see the sky getting brighter as the sun climbs slowly. Birds once again chirping as they awake and start their day. Apart from that, there's nothing out of the ordinary. Nothing at all. This is gonna jump out at us, right? Okay, nothing was weird. I wonder what happened if we turned on the lights. Well, that'll be inviting someone to come over, huh? Making your way towards the college's hospital, the building towers over you. The building was huge. It could be seen from a mile away. The chance to be doing your clinicals in a hospital this big was a huge step in your medical career. They also stood by the college for the more local medical students. Who knows, I might just enroll in this college instead. Walking up to the front doors, you look down at your watch. 8:45, just 15 minutes before you begin your first day. The inside was so clean and sterile looking. Your own footsteps echo back at you in the lobby and long hallways on either side. Inside you meet the instructor for the day. A tall, broad man in gray scrubs patiently waits. Around him is a group of other medical students waiting for the day to start. The instructor looks at you. Hello. Name? Oh, it's memory. There's so many people here. I swear I thought I'd be early. No, you are. Everyone just decided to be earlier than you. He laughs at his own dry humor. The group was stagnant for the rest of the 15 minutes while other students trickled into the room. Looking around, everyone was close around your age, but some were older. The instructor stepped back from the group of students. His demeanor towers above the entire group. This man was a behemoth. Morning, everyone. You are here today for your clinicals. I am Dr. Fisher, and I'll be your instructor for today. I know you are all anxious to start, but please be patient as this is a learning experience, and a hospital is not something to rush into. Really, the other workers will think you're running towards a cold blue or something. For those that didn't study, that's a respiratory emergency here. Oh, man. Alright, I'm going to tell you who you'll be working with today, so when I call you, please come up. The group of students mumbled and talked among themselves as the instructor gave us our assignments. The group slowly diminished name after name. The hospital around you was a little frigid, and the sounds of the PA system echoed through the halls with trauma callings for the emergency department to be ready. Yunri, the instructor's voice echoes in the lobby. Look around to see by the time you are done surveying your surroundings and everyone had already left. Dr. Fisher is staring at you, waiting for your response. Yes, sorry. You know, in healthcare, people die when you're not attentive. I'm sorry, man. I'm kidding. Half kidding. Was that supposed to be a joke? Kinda sick if you ask me. Well, he's right. Today you'll be working with Nurse Evans up in 4 Alpha. For Alpha, that's a nickname for the department. Today you'll be in inpatient mental health. The psych ward, just your luck getting to work with the crazies. All of them are crazy, that's kind of rude. That feel insensitive. Most of them were people with suicidal tendencies who just want to feel better. Who was I to judge? God knows I've always wanted to end it all just looking at what assignments you've done previously. That felt even more insensitive. Giving a nod to your instructor, you made your way down the hallway and towards the elevators. Pressing the button, you wait for the elevator to make its way down to you. People passing by you in the hallways talk amongst each other and you look at a place. Your scrub is brighter than others and anyone can spot you from a mile away if you wanted to. Why are you wearing bright pink scrubs? Because, are neon scrubs? Do they even have neon scrubs? I don't think people do make neon scrubs. The elevator finally makes it to you. You walk in and press buttons to the fourth floor. Oh my god, elevator music. Why is this going so slow? It is really a slow elevator. Your door is finally open. You step out into a long hallway. To your right is the way to your station for the day, and at the end you're met with a set of uninviting double metal doors. They were dark gray with only 2 small windows in. Nothing could be seen from inside where you stand. Looking over you, you see the doorbell. Ring for assistance. You push the doorbell. A couple seconds pass and the voice calls back to you over the speaker. Hello, how can I help you? Flirtatious. What is this with flirtatious? It's so weird. It's a casual greeting. Hi, I'm Henry. I was sent to work with you. Oh, you're the student. How wonderful. I'll just be out in a second. I'm Nurse Evans. You'll be working with me today. Please come in. She ushers you in hastily. As you know, this is a psychiatric ward and what we call 4 Alpha around here. What we do is provide supervision and care to our patients while also making sure they are attended to in order to make their stay as pleasant as possible. Don't be surprised when you find a patient who is unreceptive to your hospitality. It's more common than you think. Today we don't have many patients, just about 6 or so. Today should be a breeze for you. Of course, patients here come and go as their time with us ends. Usually it's 3 days, but sometimes we must keep them longer if we suspect they aren't fit for release. Come, let me introduce you to our patients since it's time for group. The table in the middle of the room has 5 people sitting around it. Strange, I swore she said there were 6 people. Demi, I'd like to introduce you to our patients. Here we have Wade. She points to a patient covered in bandages. They gave a wave to you with a smile that was friendly and inviting. And next to them is Meme. I'm gonna call her Meme. She then points to the female patient with dyed white hair. They look too focused on the game of checkers by themselves. Over there we have Lindsay, and you can call her Lynn. At the end of the table there's another female patient. She looked at you and greeted you before going back to her game of what seemed to be Go Fish, I think. And there's Romeo, just across from her. Straight across was Lindsay was a patient with green frosted tips. They were smug, looks like they were winning the game. And lastly we have Sue. Another female patient greeted you with a cheery smile. She's wearing an eye patch and had beautiful dirty blonde hair. These patients will be with us for a short time. Again, usually patients stay the allotted 3 days. So over time, they'll be fit for release. Okay, they all look friendly. Hopefully you have a good time here with us. We try our best to make it fun not only for them, but for us. Why make a day boring for yourself when you can make it fun for everyone? Oh yes, I forgot to mention, each nurse and medical assistant will have one-on-one sessions with an assigned patient each day. Our patients prefer to go by cryptic. That's something we do here. We of course have full legal names, but to promote a safe space for our patients, we accept any nicknames of preferred names. Our session is about to begin in a few minutes. Let me take you to the therapy room. Oh man, if I do clinicals, is this how it's going to be like? Walking with her to the therapy room, we pass by the rooms in which patients sleep in. They're empty right now, and there were multiple beds in that big open room. The sheets were tucked and neatly folded where there resides no patients. and strong about sheets where patients have claimed a bed. There could be more than one person sleeping in a room? I thought it was usually two to a room. The walls around you were mint green, and beneath them were a foxwood paneling. The guardrails were about waist height, and you ran your hands along them as you walked. The door was small, and the travel itself wasn't that far. She opened the door for you and led you inside. Alright, it will be just a second. I'm going to grab the patient. She closed the door behind you. The room was small with little furniture, a desk and 2 chairs, one for her and one for the patient. The lights were white and industrial, and the room was eerily quiet. You could hear shuffling around the panopticon through the wall behind you. Lean against the wall and wait. Not long after the door opens, she returns with a female patient. She had long brown hair and dressed in the same cardinal maroon scrubs as all the other patients. The patient sat down in the blue school chair and looked up at you with a smile. Good evening, Cryptid. How are you today? She sat there silently staring at me with her smile. She had drew a crude clown nose on herself with what looked like an oil pastel. Remember, this is cryptic. She's a selective mute, as you can see, so we tried to ask closed-end questions to give an evaluation. Kind of how you asked the open-ended question just a second ago. She laughed at your sarcastic remark. So, cryptic, how are you doing well today? She nodded to the question, never breaking gaze. That's wonderful. I'm glad to hear that. Did you get a good breakfast this morning? I heard they served pancakes today. She once again nods with more enthusiastic smile. She loves pancakes. Every time we serve them, she eats them like they were nothing. Okay, Cryptic, my assistant here is going to ask you a few questions to get them acquainted with the job here. Is that okay? She nods. Wonderful. Here's her chart. Just go down the line and try to ask them as open-endedly. Handing you the clipboard, you look at the list of questions. It's a long list. You only need to do the 3, so don't worry about doing all of them. Little interest or pleasure in doing things. Feeling down, hopeless, or depressed. Little interest or pleasure doing things. How about feeling down, hopeless, or depressed? Within the past 2 weeks, have you felt down, hopeless, or depressed? She once again shakes her head no. Okay, little interest or pleasure in doing things. Within the past 2 weeks, have you had little interest or pleasure in doing things? She shakes her head no. She then moves her hands across her chest and slides them upwards, barely hitting her. That's American Sign Language. She says she's happy. I'm glad to hear that. Or see that, I guess. I wish I learned sign language when I had the opportunity. Alright, the last question. You have any suicidal or homicidal thoughts? Oh my god, that scared me. Oh god. She reaches for you with a stabbing motion and a fast pace. Are you serious? That scared me. After, she immediately stops and giggles quietly. She looks back up at you with a giggly smile with her hands folded neatly in her lap. No worries. She did that to me when I first started talking to her. That's not funny. That's so terrifying. Literally, no. The session continued. The nurse Evans asked all she needed. The patient seemed fine apart from her little stunt. You leaned against the wall behind her, and the whole time the patient looked at you with the same smile. Well, that seems to be everything. Thank you, Cryptid. I'll talk to you later on tonight before bed. She turned towards you. Come on, Merman, we're done for now. Pretty straightforward, if I do say so myself. How was it? I mean, it was okay. I was glad she was here with me. Well, I'm glad you're here with me, helping me out. She blustered at the remark. Oh well, I'm happy to teach. It's kind of my thing. Maybe I can show you more things later on if you feel up to it? Anyways, that's our one-on-one sessions. We're about to start moving for our other patients in a few minutes. Come, let's sit in the lobby. We followed her around the front and to the lobby's office area. You sit down next to her. The station was busy with other staff members as the patients were sitting at the table. So that's pretty much it. Take care of the patients, do your one-on-ones, and take care of the patients some more. Scrub some charts, look over patient orders. It's a snack. Do you have any questions for me? Can I have her number? This is the option where we can flirt with her. Are there any other patients I should be worried about? That fun fest in the room we just had made me anxious. No, although some refuse help, you never put nurses or medical assistants at risk with potentially dangerous individuals. If that happens, we get security or call the police. You're in safe hands. She puts a hand over yours and smiles, reassuring, but her tone sounded off, genuine but worried. You take her word for it. You hear her mumble something about someone. It lingers in your mind. The number 6 guy. She said there were 6 people, and the 6th person wasn't there. Right then, let's get the movie started. I thought I heard something. She turns off the lights in the lobby and turns on the movie for the patients. The office was dark and the film played on the screen. Patients sat and watched as the staff typed away at their keyboards. The sound of the taps louder to you than the movie. Chatter could be heard amongst the patients as they commented lightheartedly. This seemed nice, and you felt like you could sit back and enjoy the movie yourself. But the nurse tapped your shoulder and waved you into the room just behind. You and the nurse talked about clinical SOP and daily duties. The room was darker than out in the lobby. She pointed to a dim lit red room behind you. That is our isolation room, she whispered. Patients can choose to sit in there if they need some space from everyone else, but in other instances we must put uncooperative and rising hostile patients with restraints. You make it red? Isn't that bad? If anyone gets violent with you and I'm not around, call one of the other staff for assistance and they'll get other staff to get involved if they need to be. The room stared back at you with a menacing aura. The deep red illuminated the entire room. It was empty, and you hope it stays that way. Leaving the hospital through the lobby, you don't really know what to think of the next week. Or months. Years, maybe. Only if you like working in this field. Oh yeah, I need to go to the store. You pull out your phone to look up the nearest grocery store. You notice that it's 5:15, so you still have plenty of the day left to unbox all your stuff after a quick trip for food. Oh, the nearest neighborhood Marwalt seems like a good enough idea. It's only a few miles away from here and home. Should be a quick stop. Better get going now. Yep, it's a grocery store. Your stomach growls as you pass through the aisles. Sorry, the music just sounds familiar. Sounds really familiar. Reminding you of your sad breakfast and a lack of lunch. Maybe coming to the store on an empty stomach wasn't the best of ideas. You seem to have many of those. Pulling out a crumpled paper from your pocket, you look to see what you need. Ah yes. Things. When did I write all this down? Hastily you grab a card and get looking. While looking through the deli, you have a hard time choosing between options. Your thinking is interrupted by a nudge. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to bump into you. You turn around. Something about this guy seemed familiar. Those eyes. Something about them tipped you off. It was that creepy neighbor from next door. Ah, hey, you're my neighbor, right? Sorry for the sudden introduction yesterday. I know it's pretty late, but I didn't mean to spook you. If I did... thinking about it, I never got a name. It's... Leo? Lee? I'm Lou? Lou? I'm just call him Lou. He looks directly at you. I need this. His hand passes by your head, and his face gets closer to yours. You can see his olivey, pale skin and tired eyes a lot closer now that they aren't shrouded in darkness. You grab something from the cool shelves. He then paused and looked at the ground near you. Thanks. Sorry. Without a goodbye, he turns around and walks off. Maybe you came on too strong? He seems pretty shy, but now you have a name. Lou. What a nice name. I feel like I'm pronouncing that name wrong. Please correct me if I am. Snapping out of it, you get what you need. Taking some creative liberties with your shopping list, you walk to the register with the full basket. Making your way up to the front, you find 2 registers open. You see Lou almost finished with the checkout in the first register. The second register had a customer starting. Which one do you want to go to? The manager's starting. He's finishing up. We should join him. You enter the line just behind Lou. As the last of his stuff gets checked out, he pulls out his debit card. He stands in silence waiting. Should I talk to him? I feel like we should, like, make small talk. I personally never in real life would make small talk with someone. I just don't know why people do that. But now let's just talk to him. You started trying to start a conversation. Hey, Lou, right? I wanted to apologize, actually apologize about earlier, and yesterday I didn't want to make you feel uncomfortable, and then if I did, I'd like to make it up to you. So you can come over for a drink and we can get to know each other better. He gives off a letter expression. Sure. With his bag of groceries, he walks out. He turns back to look at you. Guess I'll see you tonight, Minray? Seeing him flustered was kind of cute. With rosy cheeks, you make your way up to the front of the line. After checking out groceries, you head home. As you get home, you place your groceries on the counter, putting away what you don't need to prepare the dinner for your guest tonight. Come to think of it, you never give him a time to arrive. Hastily prepare dinner in case he shows up early. A simple pasta dinner with wine would be lovely. It takes almost no time at all to cook the pasta and cook the sauce. Of course, you can't just have pasta, and you decide to make a side of garlic bread. Oh, I don't have garlic. He puts the bread in the toaster and smears some butter on it. Good enough. That must be him. Rush over to the door. Hey, Lou. This poor man looks like he's about to pass out and die. He even got all dressed up. I've never seen a man more red in my entire life. He stands there almost motionless, his hair slicked back as best it could be by some water. Do you want to come in? He nods his head. I thought we said I heard he didn't like people. We're inviting people over to our house. Thanks for having me over. He was still so red. No problem. I'm glad you decided to come over. He could barely look at me. He must be so nervous. Come sit down. I just finished cooking. He sits down waiting for dinner. You serve him the dinner you have prepared, staring at it and then back to you. He gets a forkful and starts eating. Over time, as he drinks the wine, he loosens up and talks more. The day slowly turns to night, and the meal hasn't finished, and you continue to talk. Feeling warm from the alcohol, you both take off your top layers, but now in the undershirts and hot at the face, the conversation gets more and more in depth. Anything else you want to talk about? Ask about his classes, ask about his job, ask for hobbies. You have any hobbies? He looks down flustered. I'm okay at the guitar. Just okay? I don't know. Can I hear you play? Maybe sometime. What about you? Do you have any hobbies? I don't know. I stay at home. I don't know. Drawing. I don't know. Art. I don't know. I don't really do much. Oh, that's pretty cool. Want to show me sometime? Sure, sounds like fun. The wine had run out and you hardly stand on your 2 feet. Does wine make you that drunk? Your guest looks just as hammered as you. He also looked to be glowing from the light. You get closer to him. He stared back at you with tired eyes. Already? We'll just get closer. You get even closer, lips just inches apart. His skin is practically glistening from the warm light. He moves in on you. The feeling was warm, numb, and sensual. He kissed this absolute stranger on the lips, and he was very gentle with you. After a while, you both pull away. Thanks for tonight. That was really nice. I guess I should head home then? It is pretty late. Thank you for coming by tonight. I had lots of fun. You walk him over to the door and let him go. Alrighty. You head up into your room and get into bed. You look up at the ceiling and start to drift off. It was a good day like you had said. Oh. Tuesday. Day 2. To be continued, huh? Alright, and that's the end of Glassblind. I'm sure there's other choices I can go through, but it seems like we can have options between 2 people, the nurse that's in charge of us, and between Lou. I forgot the nurse's name. But it seems like between these 2 people, we can have a choice to be with either of them, or, I don't know, get mixed up between them, and some drama will start. But it seems like the mental hospital thing, something just bad's going to happen, basically. Especially with this screen. It seems like such a timid game. It doesn't seem like anything bad would happen, but like then there's this. But yeah. But maybe I'll play through the under endings, I'm not sure. But if you want me to play through the under endings, then you guys just let me know. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Bye!